points accumulated, goals scored, consecutive wins. No team in Premier League history has done 4 in a row. Pep has assaulted this league that is now officially a Farmers League.
How impressive is the 4 in a row really when context is added to it?
So, let's say that they're now found innocent. I'm like, okay, 100%, they did it.
As long as I'm alive, nobody's on top of Fergie.
Four in a row, I feel this puts Pep past Wenger. Unfortunately, Mourinho, although he has the best defensive record, and it puts him past Fergie. It puts him past Fergie. That's what I would say. So, because I just feel that when you take everything into account, the only thing that Fergie has over Pep is longevity. That's it. Because when you look at, basically, two things Fergie has over him: longevity and he built a team. That's it. So, but in terms of that, points accumulated, goals scored, consecutive wins. No team in Premier League history has done 4 in a row. Pep has assaulted this league that is now officially a Farmers League.
All right, first and foremost, he was better than Wenger a long time ago. Like,
Wenger still has that golden trophy. He still has that golden trophy.
They call that team Invincibles. That team lost to Manchester United that season in the FA Cup, lost to Chelsea at the Bridge by Wayne Bridge in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And I believe it was Nottingham Forest who knocked them out of the League Cup that year. I can't remember exactly. They weren't Invincibles. They didn't lose any games in the league. We're watching
Premier League.
We are watching real Invincibles this season in Bayer Leverkusen.
Okay, yeah.
Who, I mean, by when this comes, hopefully they ain't lost on a Sunday.
True.
But as I speak, they are doing the real Invincibles. But that's by the by. He's better than Wenger a long time ago. You were holding on to this Jose one. And
best defensive record. Cool. Best defensive record still stands. It still stands, bro.
The 4 in a row isn't the reason he passed Jose. He passed Jose. If he didn't pass him already, when he did the treble last season.
Where is Pep's defensive record?
When he did
where is the defensive record?
I actually want to see Pep's defensive records in the seasons where his team got like over 100 goals. Because to do both is crazy. If you're just defending, cool. Brendan Rodgers Liverpool scored loads of goals, but couldn't defend.
Yeah.
Jose's teams defended a lot, didn't score many. Pep's doing both, innit? But anyway, if he wasn't, it was long before this 4 in a row. That's not long before. It was before this 4 in a row, and it was definitely after last season's treble. He already passed Jose. The interesting thing with the Fergie one, and I'm gonna defend my boy. I'm gonna defend my boy to the hill. Ain't nothing getting me off that Fergie hill.
4 in a row, come on. 4 in a row. No one's done a 4 in a row. That's Farmers League settings.
We'll get on to the Farmers League accusations in a bit. But you're reducing Fergie's managerial career to Manchester United. It's the most significant part of his career. But in the debate of GOAT, greatest, it's all encompassing. You can't leave one part out and only accept another. You said there's 2 things that he's got over him. The fact that he built a team, obviously he built many teams, and that is longevity. I'm going to give you a third one. It's a line that you've ran with a long time ago, and one that you used to defend your Uncle Moo. What would he do with Scunthorpe? you like that line? What would he do with Scunthorpe? Well, I'll tell you what Fergie did with Scunthorpe. Fergie beat Real Madrid. Fergie with Aberdeen is the last team, therefore the last manager to defeat Real Madrid in a European final. We've seen the finals that Real Madrid have played since then. The amount of Champions Leagues they've played since then. Super Cups, whatever. Aberdeen of Scotland. McTominay's people them. Is it Gilmore? Gilmore's people. McGinn.
Bravehearts. But Knicks, this is Premier League.
He won 2. No.
You're making an overall managerial argument now.
But you're saying he's the greatest. He's surpassed Fergie.
No. Premier League.
Oh, you're just talking Premier League.
I'm keeping it just keeping it just because you see, this is a Premier League thing, which is about because the key thing is 4 in a row is significant because now we've now reached uncharted ground, which is that no one's ever done 4 in a row. Like Liverpool in the 80s did it 3 in a row, United did 3 in a row twice, but nobody has ever done, because there is something about winning consecutive titles
100%.
Because that's a level of dominance.
You can't take that. Well, I was about to say you can't.
I was
going to say you can't take that away from them. Yeah, you might be able to take away from them.
Yeah.
But as it stands, you can't take that away from them. They've won the 4 in a row.
Yeah.
And then you put context on top. The bottom line is 4 is 4 is 4. There's context on top. You know, when we won our second three-peat, I would say the competition that we faced was a little bit tougher than this 4-peat, because in 2007, it was Chelsea. Chelsea were back-to-back winners from the 2 years before under Jose, and we won in 2007. 2008, Chelsea took us to the last day and got to the Champions League final. 2009, obviously Liverpool with Benitez took us deep, and then pause. And
wow!
Yeah, pause that one. And 2010, obviously Drogba's offside goal, and Ancelotti made sure they won it by 1 point on the last day of the season. Whereas 3 of Pep's 4 has come against who? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
No, come on.
Arteta.
Respect Ole.
No, but when you're in the grand scheme of things,
respect Ole. Respect Golem. Respect
you
Golem.
can't take away the trophy, but we are living through it, therefore we can add context. In 10, 15, 20, 50 years from now, when people are just looking at Wikipedia like we do when we look at Real Madrid's 5 European Cups in the 50s, you look at it and you say, 4 in a row. You have to respect it. Yeah. And in 50 years, you look at 4 in a row. You have to respect it. But we can add context. And the context is 3 out of those 4 came against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Arteta in his first managerial job. But we are living now.
We're living now.
We're living. So I don't do that to necessarily take away from what he's done, because you still have to win the 4.
Yeah.
And it's not like he wasn't pushed in different areas. The only one barely. Last season they fell away. This season
Knicks,
and the
that Liverpool
one
team. Okay, Knicks. How many teams? 97 points wins the Premier League in pretty much every single season.
And this is why, for me, in the context of winning, points matter 100%. But in the context of not winning, points mean absolutely nothing. Points for me are arbitrary. Liverpool got 97 points, but were they better than Man United treble winning team who got 79 points? No. Arteta this season is going to get, it would be 88 points, whatever it is, 89 points. Are they better than a Chelsea team who won it with 80 odd points? No, because winning is all that matters. So of course, when you add Pep, in some season he's the only one with 85 against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Last season, I think was in the 80s. This season's just over 90. But winning is what that matters. But when you add the points and the winning and the goals and the records, 100%, I understand the argument that he's the. But I am not. Put it like this:
4 in a row, 100 points, 98 points, consecutive wins. Style, impact, influence. Is he the greatest Premier League player, Premier League manager ever?
Impact, influence. I'll give him that. Because everyone up and down the country is playing football.
Playing 100%. From the back. Stupidly, but it is what it is.
He's playing cross football. But yeah, fair enough. He kind of popularised it again. But until those charges are dropped, I can't do it. And I'm going to be honest.
So, I'm going to be honest. Okay.
You know the way, once again, before we go, we live in a world where we already know court of public opinion is the only thing that matters. Nobody cares whether there's video evidence or not. Nobody cares about whether you had your day in court or not. Once the accusation's been brought, and sometimes it's unfortunate, people already making decisions. I'm here to tell you, I've already made my decision. Man City have been cheating from the dawn of time. So Pep, Well done. It's not your fault, but I got to put asterisks. How impressive is the 4 in a row really when context is added to it? I'm a man of context. I'm a man who likes to have a debate. I don't just go on Wiki, read off a few stats, and say, hey, Bob's your uncle, Jemima's your aunt.
Oh, wow.
No, I don't do that. I add context. And the context is, as long as I'm alive, nobody's on top of Fergie in more ways than one. No one's on top of Fergie.
I mean, look, I mean, I get what you're saying because is that's cause of public opinion is going to be key. Look, see, in my view, what's the saying? Perception is reality. Like, because I wanted to ask you this. Let's just play a game. They have the day in court. They find innocent. They did nothing wrong. Does that now change your view? In my view, it's like, fine, but I'm like, something ain't too right here. But the reality is, if let's say they're found innocent, I'm like, you've got to separate them. So let's say you separate them. Let's say that they're now found innocent. I'm like, okay, 100%, they did it. Well, I'm like, okay, they are those dudes. So whether you want to like,
Robert was out of jail for a long time. That's what Robert was out of jail for a long time. That's what I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Robert.
So, I mean, look. It's a tricky one.
It's a very...
it's a tricky one.
It's dodgy as hell.
They
have been... so I ain't going to go too into it.
No.
But no. I want... because I do want to be able to judge Pep as an individual... But it's difficult in the context of it because if you weren't able to do what you did, would you be as dominant? We know Pep is already a great manager. We know that it's already so difficult to stop him.
Yeah.
But it makes it even harder that he's arguably not playing on the same level playing field that every other previous manager had to play under.
No. But then what I say to that is, let's now keep it a stack. Hasn't everyone been cooking those books to a degree? Because let's be objective here. Is it fair for us to be like us when, let's be real, who's been listening to FFP? Nobody's been listening to freaking FFP, and everybody has been skirting around the rules for ages because no one is really like, FFP has never really been a thing where, okay, I feel everybody has been cheating. It's, were you caught or were you not caught? Bro, Chelsea are about to get deducted points because we self-snitched stupidly.
I don't think it's 100% fair on Pep if we're going to analyse him under that cloud that he didn't necessarily create, even if he's benefiting from it. It is a record. I'm not going to say it's a record that can never be beaten. I'm not going to say that because, as I said, Fergie did two free-peats and he was 1 point away, a Drogba offside, away from doing a 4-peat. It's not beyond, but it's an incredible achievement and one that 100% puts him in the eyes, and I'm not going to argue with them, of many, if not most, that he's the greatest Premier League manager of all time. I'm not going to argue with them, but as I said, I'm a man of context. And when I apply that context, it ain't as clear cut and dry. But Pep Guardiola, I remember Kyle from Nick Sports, he made a statement a couple of years ago even. He said, Pep Guardiola is the greatest league manager of all time.
Yes, he is.
So
yes.
Forget anything else. Because the way that he gets his team to play football, imagine if you got 75% possession, you're probably going to win 75% of the games, at least, outside of the individual brilliance that your players might have because you require the best players in the world. So he puts his team in the best position to win the most matches over a longer period of time than any other manager we've seen in our lifetimes. And that alone has to be credited, and you can give that to him because I think whichever players he has, he's able to put them in that position where you say you're in a better position than anyone else to go and win that game. Now it's their individual quality now that allows them to take advantage of it. You know, Henry spoke about he takes us to the final third, and then we have to kind of figure out after that. But how many other managers are getting their players, their teams, to that final third in a consistent basis as Pep does? Not many, if any. So on that, you have to respect it. And I'm not gonna fight anyone. I get why they say it. Some of it, people are gagging to knock Fergie off that perch. So I get it as well. But now they've got something tangible to go by. I ain't gonna fight it, but when I add my context, listen, Fergie's number one.